None other than Sanad. Great to have you on the pod, bro.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Really excited to be here, share some knowledge with the team and your viewers.
Brilliant, man. Appreciate you taking the time to come.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So, I like to give my guests the time to introduce themselves, get a story about themselves, and kind of introduce yourself to the viewers.
All right, boys. So Sanad Boughalmi is the name. I own an ad agency. That's the first business model. I'm still, in the make money online industry. I own an ad agency. I'm based here in Dubai. I started in the UK. Started 4 years ago, just in the middle of COVID. I started my agency. I think on the 22nd of March 2020, just when COVID hit. Before that, I came from a sales background. I used to work for a well-known sports agent, a football agent. So I came from like a relatively a sales background, but then COVID hit, sports went really bad, and eventually there was nothing really going on there. And I needed to shift. I was just, like everyone sitting home, trying to figure out what to do with life. And some random video on YouTube came up to me, and basically it was like how to start an ad agency with $0. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Iman's video or Jordan Platin video, the
Oh, yeah.
agency owners guy.
Yeah.
Not sure which one of them was the first video, but I am sure that it was the video that really made all sense. Right? The whole business makes sense to me. Was a video by Jordan Platin in 2020. It randomly popped up on my feed page on YouTube. And then that's when I started digging deep down into this. And honestly, the rest is history. I started the agency in March, and till now it's like 2024, 4 years later, I'm still doing the same business model. I did a lot of things. I started in healthcare. I found my first success in healthcare, made my first 6 figures in healthcare in the UK. I used to serve plastic surgeons on Harley Street and in London mainly. But then I couldn't scale that, and I peaked at 20K. I made my first 20K a month in plastic surgery. I did it for almost a year, and then I was stuck, basically. I couldn't scale. The thing about working with doctors, first of all, when you work with plastic surgeons, you can really make a lot of money because it's a high ticket industry. Their clients pay them a lot, so you will be willing, if you are going to be able as an agency owner, to charge them a lot. That works basically. And I made good money in it. I built my foundations in it. But the thing about selling to doctors is that they are just not enticed to sell more. I mean, they're not salespeople, And later in 2021, I closed a big deal. It was my biggest client back in the days, with a group of plastic surgery clinics. It was called PSI, I think. They were managing clinics in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and in Istanbul. They were managing like 13 hotels. Sorry, not hotels, like plastic surgery clinics. And eventually, over time, we did amazing systems for them. We delivered them with good results. And I became friends with one of the owners. He was Egyptian. And he was like, bro, you should come build your system and offer it to businesses here. Like, there was like nothing like it here back in the days, especially in Dubai. It's when it comes to the advertising and marketing scene, it's really monotonous and it's very, very basic. So even though what we were doing it's just the client acquisition system. It's built like proper advertising, front end, pre-qualification, landing pages, go high level, automations, and all of that. It was an all-in-one system, but still it wasn't like crazy. I mean, for them here, it was like I just discovered fire. And they were so impressed. And eventually that's what I did. I studied the market here. And I decided to go after real estate. Real estate is the biggest industry here. It's what's really going on in the city now. Decided to focus on real estate, and that's when I sort of, hit the jackpot with scaling. I remember I started my ads in July, I think, end of July 2021.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah. and I scaled to like 10 clients in like 2 months.
That's crazy.
Was crazy. Like the thing about, and this is the good thing about, you know, if you are an agency owner watching this, it's very important for you to keep in mind, a market that you make money in doesn't necessarily mean a market that you can scale in. A lot of market dynamics get into that. So you really need to understand your X, Y, and Z basically in whatever you are doing, whatever niche you are active in right now. And I think it's very important to understand this, because it was like really a moment of reflection for me and what I've been doing for a whole year. And then I didn't change anything about my offer. I just changed, you know, the market. I just changed my addressed market, and boom, my offer resonated way more deeper and got me way more results to whatever I was doing before that. And eventually that's what I did. I doubled down on real estate. 1 year in, 2022, July, same thing. Literally after a year, I moved completely full-time to Dubai. And here we are. I've been living here for the last 2 years.
Nice, nice, nice. So kind of talk to me about, I know you mentioned you started it and the early stages. What were the early stages of starting the business like? I know you kind of went through the whole overview, which is good, but kind of pocket the kind of like the early stages of how it came to be and how it even came up. I know you said Jordan Platten's videos and Iman Gatsi and the kind of the new hype about SMMA agencies. So talk to me about how you actually started with the agency.
Listen, when I started the agency, I knew two things. Before 2020, I didn't even know a thing called Facebook ads. I didn't even know it existed. I had like zero knowledge about marketing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I knew two things. After watching that video and eventually digging deep down into, I got to know Iman's videos and a few other people in this space as well that, you know, they were creating content for SMMA, if you wish. And I understood the fundamentals of the business model, but back in the days when it started to really make sense for me, I only knew two things: is that this could be a product sellable because businesses will always need more customers. And the second thing is that I know how to sell to people. So I just needed to learn eventually. The biggest learning curve for me was honestly the service delivery. And eventually over time creating offers and getting people appointment setting and, you know, outreach and all of that, and trying to, you know, it wasn't easy, honestly. Like across my first 6 months of building the agency, it was always easier for me to learn what not to do than learning what to do. It was always for me, I would go test something, it doesn't work a million times, and then I will know how to not do it a million times, but then it hits that one time. And that's how I crack it, basically. So it was a big learning curve for me because I didn't have any business background, and I didn't have eventually any marketing background as well. So I didn't have.
What were you doing pre the agency? What was you doing in terms of work? Like, how did you even pivot? Was you working a 9 to 5? Was you working your own side hustle? How did you actually get into that?
I started the agency in March 2020. I graduated high school June 2019. So during that year, I was applying to American universities. I was taking the SAT, doing exams and all of that. And, you know, I graduated. I studied in high school mathematics, and I'm not that, you know, C student type of story who ditched school, went on. No, I was an A student. I was top of my class. And I wanted to go study theoretical physics in Stanford in the US, but I didn't get in. I did exams, this, that, I applied. I didn't get in, I didn't get accepted. And eventually I decided, look, if it's not Stanford, I'm gonna drop out, I'm gonna figure out life. I didn't see real value in going to university. So that's what I did. I dropped out. First thing after that, I worked in like an ed tech company with one of he was a very inspiring guy for me because he was the same age as me. He was like older. I think he was 20 and I was 19 at the time, but he had like a consulting company back home, and he was like he was doing a lot. He was like the first probably young entrepreneur that I got introduced to in my life. And I used to work for him. I taught math. I did a lot of things. I taught math. I built websites. I did a lot of things. And then eventually I got introduced to this sports agent. Funny enough, he's the father of the guy I used to work with. I used to work for in his consulting company. And I worked for him for a few months, but then it wasn't really a big career. I was just like maybe like almost a year of just testing and playing around it. I didn't really have a 9 to 5 or like a fixed thing that I was doing. And then I got thrown into entrepreneurship. I was just a kid, playing around, testing as much as possible.
Was that your first exposure to sales, let's say, inside of that consulting company, or what kind of was your role? Because you said you had experience into sales. A lot of people's first problem is the sales element. So you had the kind of leverage with being more of a salesperson. Where did that experience come from, let's say?
It came from my upbringing as a kid. My father is a tough military man, so good communication is always top notch. Discipline is always top notch. Being smart, working with your mind, navigating situations, and that's what what sales is in reality. It's you just know how to debunk human insecurities and human objections, basically. So those are the foundations for my sales skills. And eventually, we had a shop when I was a kid, and I was working in the shop, and I was doing sales basically. And then, few hustles during high school as well. I used to be like a geek gamer as well, console, PS4 games, and I was always reselling video games. I was like going to high school in my backpack. I would have like FIFA 16, NBA 16, and Call of Duty. I have all the games. Like I'm trying to sell them and all of that. And I was listing them on like marketplaces back home and all of that. And whenever I get a call, I will just hop in, go sell it, come back. So that's where I didn't really do corporate sales or anything, but I had that small experience of sales that over time, a few different touch points across my childhood doing some sort of sales, it accumulated over time to give me like my sort of perspective on how to sell it. So that's what I mean by I had experience in sales.
Nice. So the next thing is you started your agency, you're in the early stages. What was the pivoting point where it started to pick up and you started to feel that tension or kind of the kick?
I started creating my product market fit once I focused on one niche. When I started, like my first ever client was for $400, and it was a random gym in Colorado in the States. And I am very sorry if you're watching this. Please forgive me. Reach out to me. I'll refund you the $400 now. Bro, I learned on them, and like I'm not gonna lie, like I closed, yes, but I was just over promising, doing my sales. I did the sales job, but I didn't know anything about service delivery. And eventually, a month in, I was learning on them. And eventually they left, right?
Yeah.
And then I knew that, all right, this is not how to do it. And then I went, step back, went on the research again, and I decided to niche down. And that's how I decided to focus on plastic surgery clinics, basically. And that's how it all started. But my first sort of like pivotal moment in really, and like my gotcha moment, basically, it was really in outreach. It wasn't even in sales or service delivery. It was really in outreach, because what everyone is preaching online is get an itch, scrap data, send cold emails, book meetings, follow up, do all of that. And I did everything. I did every outreach strategy in the book. I was so miserable in my early days because it was so unpredictable and so inefficient to do cold emailing. And at one point, one of the strategies that I tested was literally logging into Google Maps and having one tab Google Maps, one tab a Google Sheet, and I was copy pasting business names, business emails, phone numbers, and I was just copying pasting them into Google Sheets, uploading them to Go Highlight. and dialing them, for cold calling them from Go High Level. And I was
Yeah.
doing like 1 day prospecting, 1 day outreach, 1 day prospecting,
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It was miserable. It was miserable. It was no way to build a business. There should have been a better way. And I did all of them. I did the D7 lead finder, scrapping emails, send them to what is it called? Limlist, that email software, doing the campaigns, the follow-ups, the A/B, all of them. I tested all of them. And I did close deals. I did book meetings, but it wasn't sustainable and it wasn't something enjoyable for me. And it made me really hate the process. And
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that it's all about the process. So if you're not in love with the process, that's a big problem that you will solve. So my biggest pivotal moment was doing personal branding.
Nice.
Yeah. So I decided, look, there should be a better way to do this. And here's what I decided to do. I'm going to build a personal brand. I'm going to provide, I've been doing this for quite enough time now that I know the market problems, and I know the difference between the market problems and the real market problems. The market problems clients think they have, and the real market problems are the real problems holding them from making more money. Everyone would say the lead's quality is the problem. Everyone say the high cost per lead. But I dig deep down after that, and eventually because of the sales calls that I did, because of the deals that I didn't close, because of the people who neglected me, because of the people who said no, because of the clients that I had, eventually with the tests that we did with them, I started to understand what it really takes to get clients to plastic surgery clinics. And I started creating content about that, and it's still all documented online. I have case studies, videos of me on YouTube talking about really like plastic surgery marketing and getting clients and getting people through my system till now, from years ago till now. They are live on my YouTube channel. And I decided to create content around that and share it with people for the masses to watch on LinkedIn. LinkedIn was the first platform that I created content on and built my personal brand on, basically. And that's how I found like predictable success from there. It was enjoyable. I was creating value. I was connecting with people, and people were actually more happy for me being to trying to sell them something. Whenever I try to reach out to someone, they are more receptive suddenly. They are happy because I connect with them. I populate my top of funnel, and then I'm all in on content.
Pivoting into the next question, which was, how did you get big companies to trust you? So
personal branding, as I said, like the first pivotal moment in my agency was really personal branding. I started creating content around my customer objections, about the problems that I deal with in helping my current clients scale, get clients, run ads, get profitable campaigns, and get the ROI basically. And I started creating content around that and pushing it on YouTube and on LinkedIn as well. And for anyone watching, like, you can just go on Funnel Hack Me. It's all over the place. I didn't delete anything. It's still all documented online. Go through it. And I hope you really find value in it. But that allowed me to, as I said, first of all, shorten my sales cycle like crazy. With cold emailing, it was taking me 2 to 2.5 months of follow-up to get someone on the phone to properly close them. With personal branding, it shortened my sales cycle down to 4 weeks, 3 weeks. And I mean, you cannot achieve that without a personal brand, because, you know, the way you look at sales is that it's all in the mind. Sales is really a mind game. And if you're getting leads that are not closing, and eventually your sales cycle is long for whatever you are selling, you really need to understand that it's just a matter of that you are getting leads that are very far away from the buying decision. And the next question should be, why are they far away from the buying decision? It's always one aspect. It's a knowledge gap. They don't have the answers to the questions they have to make that buying decision. Now, the provider from the competition that's irrelevant, because they will decide whether you or another company, but because they need the service, but they are not ready to buy whether with you or someone else, just because of a knowledge gap. And that's what content does. It reduces the knowledge gap. It minimizes the knowledge gap, because you put in, what's the point of a sales call? To demo your service and reduce the knowledge gap of your clients so they can trust you and buy. So what if I just go on and just everything that I discuss and try to sell and try to educate the clients on my private follow-up, on my private sales calls, fuck it, let me just record it and put it online for the internet for everyone to watch. And like that, I will, even if it's it's not easy and it takes time. It takes time to build this, but it compounds over time. I still have reaching out to me for like my videos that were posted 3 years ago on YouTube talking about plastic surgery. I don't do plastic surgery marketing anymore, but it's like real estate. It's digital real estate. You put it online and people watch it, consume it, and they will forever keep consuming it. And it sticks, because if you, to answer your question, how to get big companies to trust you, right now in Dubai, we're not even the biggest company. We are a boutique agency. All of our team is remote. We have like a production team here based in Dubai, but all of our operation is completely remote. I have people across 5-6 countries. And we are a team of 23 people. And now we have really good leverage in the market, because we needed to, we went through a process to build it to that extent. Right now, the only client acquisition channel that we have is literally paid ads, and it cost us like $200 or maybe even less, probably 150, 170 to acquire a client. So for me, if I want to acquire 10 clients this month, it's just a matter of clicking 2 buttons. But it's not easy. I needed to go through 3 years of building my leverage to reach the point where I am right now. And I'm not even the biggest company, but because I'm a specialist, I specialize in one niche. And mind you, we do a lot more than real estate. We work with citizenship by investment companies. We work with business formation companies. We work with high ticket consulting. We have a lot of businesses working with us, but people come to us because we are specialists in real estate and real estate related industries. We have many clients who came to us for one of our programs in the agency for real estate. And then they liked us, they liked our systems, they liked working with us, they got results, and then they gave us access to the rest of their companies. So that's how you build your leverage. You need to have trust in the marketplace. You need to provide value to the marketplace absolutely for free. Alex Hormozi talks a lot about this. Give the info for free, sell the implementation.
Nice. So they already know kind of how it works or what it would look like and why they need it, but they don't know how to do it because you're the specialist at the end of the day. You have the skill set.
The way I look at it is that if I create content that's extremely valuable, I over-deliver in content compared the things that I give for free for Dubai real estate companies here for this market online. Other people charge for it. That's the what people charge for here. But I give it away for free. Now the strategies, the advertising strategies, the creative strategy, the scripts, this, that, everything that goes into selling properties online, I give it away for free online. It doesn't matter. Because I would have 2 types of people at that point. I would have exhibit A. What they will do is that they will take all of that knowledge and they will think, I can do it on my own. And go on, do it on your own. Deep down, even if you don't work with me and you don't pay me, but deep down, if it works and it will work for you, deep down, you will be grateful for me. And that's a win for me still. But there will be exhibit B, which is my ideal customer. And he might be able to do it on his own. But what he will think is, all right, look, I need this service and this guy knows what he's talking about. I don't want to go through the learning curve of doing it myself or the hustle or the thinking or anything. Let me pay him premium and he will do it for me. That's the cost of expertise. That's the cost of expertise. When you build your expertise, when you provide and over deliver to the market, you get people throwing money on you. And at this moment, like, we literally work application only. For us to work with us, you need to submit an application.
That's good. Yeah.
That's leverage. You build it over time. You build it over time. Is it gonna be always like this? Of course not. But we will adapt. Whatever hits, we will adapt to it, and we will see how we can work on it. And that's the nature of a businessman and an entrepreneur. You just wake up and solve problems.
Yeah. Now, I think it pivots into our next kind of question, which is, you mentioned in one of your videos how you guys attempted to scale the business. And I don't know, maybe at that time you attempted to scale the business and it relatively failed. Can I talk to us about what the attempt of scaling was and how that looked like?
Okay, look, this happened in June 2020, 2023. So just for context, since Q4 2020, since Q4 last year, Q4 2023, we've been doing over 100K per month consistently. Now, our business, the reason why we did that is because during Q2, we took a step back and I reshaped the whole company. Why? Because Q1, we scaled big time. Q2, we tried to scale big time and we failed. We closed lots of deals. As I said, we have the leverage. Client acquisition is never a problem for us. So we pumped money on ads, pumped a lot of resources on content. We scaled. We acquired a lot of clients. We made a lot of money. But 2 months, it plumbed down. We lost clients. Everyone is not happy. Operations was messy. And eventually, things did not really work out. And it was a stressful and unpleasant experience for every party. My team members, myself as head of the operations, and eventually the partners working with us. So eventually I needed to step back, and I needed to take a step back because before that, it happened one more time before that in Q4 of the previous year in 2022. And we did the same process and we still failed. So I decided that, listen, this is not how it should be done. I took a step back. Q4 of last year, I spent it all building SOPs, documenting every single step of everything that happens inside of my agency. From the second we send an outreach, from the second we launch an ad, till the second the client refers us another person. Everything in between: client acquisition, client onboarding, service delivery, support, sales, upselling, marketing, finance department, and everything in between. How are the interactions that we do with clients and how efficient they are and how inefficient they are. And I documented everything. I rebuilt SOPs for every single department. And I rebuilt systems for every single department. And we needed to fire people. At one point, I used to have like 30 employees between full-time and contractors. But apparently we didn't need that much. Right now we have 15 full-time employees, and we have like 6, 7 around like contractors and freelancers that we work with on like whether it's weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis. So we scaled down everything. We scaled down human resources, and I slowed down. Eventually we lost clients, so even revenue was taking a hit. And I needed to like take a loss, just like 2 steps back so I can take 10 steps forward later on. And I reshaped everything. I spent the whole quarter building SOPs, training the team, building the system, getting them really to stick to them, getting them trained on them. And eventually Q4 came in. The biggest season for real estate here is Q4, Q1. And that's how we scaled. Q4 last year, Q1, we till now it's been really good. We have the best operations. We have the fastest onboarding process for clients in the history of the agency. We have the best results. We have the best the streamlined systems. We have the best communication rates between different departments. Nothing is slowing us down. Nothing is creating a lot of friction internally. Now, problems still happen, like anything in life, like any business. problems on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, still they come up, and we fix them. Why? Because we have SOPs. If you want to scale an agency, you need systems, you need SOPs. Why? Because the biggest detrimental element to any business is human error.
I think that's what kind of my next question was, especially as an agency owner myself. I think there was a lot of problems and friction with outsourcing, and maybe outsourcing too early, a lot of human error, a lot of reliance on maybe external employees and stuff like that. So what would you say the main thing is? Is it creating SOPs that you can always rely back on, that when outsourcing or when building out your business, that you can rely on?
The way I look at it is that it all comes down to expectations. If you are the business owner and you're hiring people, they're not getting the job done as you wish, and you are frustrated, doesn't mean they are shit, it's you. You got to take responsibility. You got to own up to the decisions, because everything that happens inside of your business is because of a decision that was taken earlier. If your employee is confused and making mistakes, because of the decision you took not to train them properly and document their day-to-day so they don't need to think. And you can apply the same concept for anything else happening wrong in your business and in your life.
Yeah.
It's the same patterns. So the way I look at it is that you need to hire good people. And for the longest period of time, I was just hiring based on potential. The oldest person in my company is 29, our finance director and HR manager. And I am the youngest person in the company. So,
yeah.
So everything in between is just early, like basically juniors, people who just graduated, people with like 1 year of experience. And those are the people that I needed to have, even though I'm the youngest, but I needed to have young people as well, so I can shape them. You get an old person experience, they come with their entitlement. And I have a vision that I want to build and I want to install. And I always tell my team, like, you guys this company is built on my personal brand. People come to TMM, to Bridge Consultancy, to Better Sales Club, to any of our companies because of Sanad, the personal brand and the perception that I created online. Now, if they buy something and end up getting a different thing, that's bad for business. So you should all be a pure reflection, not of myself, but of my standards. Be you. You have the freedom and you have the space to express yourself, to do things how you please. That's the good thing about being remote, is that you get people from different cultures and different countries, and everyone comes with their own different realities and perceptions of life and perspectives on how things should be done. And that's so powerful. And you need to monetize that, and you need to give people the space to be creative and do things and test. But eventually you need to give them, look, these are the standards that we cannot go below. And you need to be very strict on them. I'm very cool with my team, but when I need to be strict, I'm really strict. We're not a family. We're a team. We're trying to build something here. So everyone should pull their weight, basically. And with high standards, and even it's literally, if I go to our Notion here, if I go to our Notion in our company digital HQ, our core values are literally customer-centric, transparent communication, team members before partners, growth, fully remote, and flexibility for the employees, and the sky-high standards.
Nice.
Everything I've been sharing, it's literally in our core values for any of the companies that we run. So you need to train people, and you need to give them the opportunity to stick to basically stick to the boundaries of what can be done, what should be done, and what should be done, and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And you give them their creativity within that small box, basically. Because you don't want people to be just acting on their own, because the inconvenience of hiring young talent is that you also get immature talent. You still get hungry talent that's eager to learn, eager to go the extra mile. but you still get also the flip side of it is that you get immature
Yeah.
talent, and you need to work with it.
What
And
kind of experiences? Talk a bit more about kind of, especially with recruitment, especially with the hungry but kind of immature or maybe immature talent. How was you able to kind of hone that and make it good for your brand and for your company to work to that to optimum level?
I will I will give the credit to my finance director, because he's our finance director, and he's our HR manager as well.
Yeah.
And he's a geezer, bro. He's the top G of like everything that goes into finance, that goes into HR training, and everything in between. And I learned a lot from him. My first attempt in building a team in my agency was a pure failure, because I was a shitty manager. I didn't know how to manage people. I didn't know how to motivate people, because even during my high school years, my education years, I was always the lone wolf. I always wanted to build things on my own, by myself, projects, this, that. I I am faster and more efficient when I work alone. So for me to integrate a team and babysit them was always a challenge for me. And it is still now, but I am way better. I grew up a lot from my experience over the last 4 years. And I think a good book to read about this is, first of all, to read a book called Biology by Dr. Martin Lindstrom, amazing author. And there is another book that will teach you how to deal with people and to build team cultures, called It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work.
Yes.
This book is authored by two tech founders. They are the founders of Basecamp.com, like an all-in-one platform, basically, cloud platform. So these are two good books that you should read. Everyone should really read to learn how to deal with, first of all, human biology, human psychology. And biology is like, it's not biology as in like science, it's sales, like biology, basically. It's
Oh, okay.
and it debunks sales and human interactions from like a scientific perspective.
Nice.
So you learn a lot about how humans receive informations, assess them, and put out an outcome, basically. So it will surely help. So in regards to progressing when it comes to a manager and getting talent to mature and eventually progress in the level of professionalism, let's say, and how they present themselves in front of clients, it just comes down to, honestly, boundaries and repetition. Repetition creates conviction.
Nice.
You just need to be on their head. Repeat till they get it. If they don't get it, they get fired. They're not a good fit. And there is nothing wrong with that. You're just not a good fit here. It doesn't mean that you are a bad employee or a bad person, or you could not fit anywhere. It's just that you are not fitting this culture. And this
Yeah.
culture is just a reflection of my own vision. It doesn't mean that
Yeah.
it's perfect. It just means that it's not fitting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And especially, I think, just to touch on that, do you think it's also the environment of business, especially in Dubai? Maybe it's a different ball game than maybe here in the UK. But in general, the business, and especially in the agency realm, business is fast flowing, business is fast paced, and to have that kind of delay and latency time, do you think that why you're so stern with people? You just want to get stuff done, you want to get shit done, so you kind of don't really take so much time on that.
what I believe in is that the second you stop innovating is the second you stop dying in business. And for
Nice.
you to innovate, you need to be fast. You cannot be slow and innovating at the same time. Innovation is all about being fast, being the first to introduce something. And if you have, and I did an interview with the US Times a few years ago, I think 2021. And I shared with them, and that's the first year that I really was successful. And I was going through a huge learning curve of being a manager and managing teams. And I told them, and that was like something that's really not usual for me to say. I said that alone, you cannot really build a successful company. You build a successful team, that builds you a successful company. Alone, you cannot really achieve anything. A lot of people claim to be self-made. I don't believe in that. You're not self-made. Your success is contributed by a lot of many people. So you gotta keep that in mind. The way I look at it is that you just gotta put in the work, and you just gotta make sure that you're leading by example, and you're setting the boundaries and giving sort of the game plan for everyone. And from time to time, sell them on the big picture. Because what I noticed, at least in my experience, is that people get lost fast and they forget about the big picture fast. And your job, for me right now, I have a lot of freedom in my agency because I have leverage. I built my leverage. I built my systems. It took me 4 years to get to where I am right now. And I have an operation that can work on its own. And I have that. I'm not dragged in the day-to-day of the company, that I have the room to think about the long-term vision. What do you want to do? What are the products you want to create? We recently launched an info product for our existing market. But for me to innovate and create, and people are liking it, and we are selling it a lot. And for me to innovate and come up with these new products that will position us as the expert and the go-to company in the market, I need to have a peace of mind so I can think. But that vision should also be communicated to the folks in the ground, the folks that doing the dirty work, the people that are leading on a day-to-day and doing the day-to-day work. Those are the people that you should care about the most, your team. And this is why in my own core values, team members are always coming before partners. A client will always be replaced, but a valuable team member should always be prioritized.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it, because they are building with you for years to come. And if they are sold on that vision, they will never do something stupid for a client to have a bad experience. But even partners and clients, they are not perfect. They're just other human beings on the other side of the table as well. And they come up with their own frustrations, with their day-to-day busyness and headache and all of that, and they try to put it all on you. And they are not perfect. So you don't expect them to be perfect. And if they are a bad fit, and a lot of times they end up being not a good fit, you just fire them. You just stop working with them. So this is the perspective I'm talking about, basically. But just to get back to the point, have clear boundaries, have clear documented SOPs. Do not make people think. If you want to move fast, you need to minimize thinking. You need to minimize confusion. And you can do that by having SOPs, by building systems, by documenting everything. In our agency, every new employee that comes into the company, they need to go through like 6 hours worth of course training to understand the problems that we are solving and to understand every product line that we have. Even if you're not working in that department, you need to understand everything about the company. And then you go to Notion. We have a digital HQ on Notion. You go through your onboarding process per position, whether you are an account manager, a graphic designer, a sales, outbound, closer, whatever. You go through your onboarding process, and it's a step-by-step documented SOPs, written format, Google Docs, and video content. You have no excuse to make mistakes, basically.
Yeah.
If you are confused down the road with something, you don't text me, you don't text anyone. You just go back to your SOPs. And eventually, as I said, repetition creates conviction. The more they repeat that, the easier it gets. So that's how I really look at that. You just need to create good boundaries, train good people, make sure that they really don't think about anything. They have clear SOPs to whatever they do on a daily basis. And you consistently need to sell them on the long-term vision. You need to keep them involved on the bigger picture, because sometimes they just get caught up on the day-to-day that they lose sense of what they are doing. They lose meaning, they lose value. And you always need to continue motivating them and selling them on the bigger picture. Once a month, or whenever we have new team members, I always tell them, look, whatever you do, in this company on a day-to-day basis, however stupid you think it is, whether it's logging into ChatGPT to generate a script or to do like a research on Google or to copy paste a piece of content from Google Sheet to another Google Sheet, you really need to understand that it's extremely valuable, whatever you do, because our system is an all-in-one system. If one person is lacking in that system, nothing after that will be valuable. So your job, whatever it is extremely valuable, and you need to take it extremely seriously. Why? Because if we don't do our job properly, clients don't get leads, they don't sell properties, and they don't make money. And if they don't make money, they don't provide for their families, they don't buy a new house, they don't buy a new car, they don't live a happy life, and everyone is miserable. You, the system, me, the client, everyone. And we don't want to do that. It's better not to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
That's what really gets people, going all the time. So you got to keep them sold on the bigger picture as well.
Yeah. So kind of to wrap it up, what would you say is the one big lesson that you learned I know it's a big time range and it's a big time lapse, but what kind of is the biggest lesson you'd kind of tell your younger self to say, kind of understand this the most, do this the most, keep hammering this the most?
Build your leverage. Life is all about leverage. Build your leverage. That's all what you really need to be successful in life. You need to have leverage. Leverage will allow you to pick and choose clients. Leverage will allow you to charge whatever you want. Leverage will allow you to not be commoditized in a marketplace. Leverage will allow you to make sure that you have the best talent because people want to work with you. Leverage will allow you to achieve, the list goes on, everything basically. And the way you build leverage is by being customer centric, data driven, and you need to build products not you think will work, but what the market is telling you. You need to be very analytical in how you build your agency. This is not like a lot of people, I see a lot of videos, and I bought a lot of courses across the last 4 years. A lot of people present it as an opportunity to, hey, come out of university, do some Upwork outreach, do some cold emailing, you make 10K a month. And that's not a business. This is a proper business. This is a proper way of helping other people get to where they want. So you really need to take it seriously, and you really need to look at it from a wider lens to what you're doing on a daily basis. People die if you don't really provide good service to clients, because if you don't provide, if they are investing in you and you're selling them, but you're not providing results, it's a big problem. It's a big mess. And
Exactly.
client is not happy. That client made 10 other people know that they are not happy about your service. And you lost 11 clients just from one. So the way I look at it is that build your leverage. To build your leverage, you need to be customer focused. You need to really care about your customers, really look at them as the founding pillar of everything you own. The nice car that you own, the nice apartment that you have, the fancy restaurants you go to, the dinners, this, that, the watches, everything. It's all because of the clients that trusted you and paid you to do a service. So don't neglect that. Go on and to put your head down and actually work to master that craft, to master that service delivery, so you can scale your clients. And the more you scale them, the more money you make. So build your leverage, focus on your clients, focus on their success. Their success is literally your success.
Beautifully put, beautifully put. I guess it's a lot to unpack here, a lot to unload, but a lot of insight into what it is. There's a difference between just having an agency, I think, and having a business, having a corporation, having like an actual team around you. It's different to just a one-man job and just providing services. Yeah,
100%.
definitely. So let's get into kind of the next segment, which is the farm. Talk to me about the school community you launched. What is the mission behind the farm?
I'm literally posting a YouTube video today, the 19th of May. depending on when you will be uploading this video. But I'm posting a video literally about it as well. Look, the farm is a childhood vision that I had. Since I was a kid, I always said that I'm gonna build a farm. And it's literally called the farm because I want to build a proper big farm. I already bought the piece of land 3 months ago home, and I'm gonna build it over time. But I wanted to start digitally. The way I perceive the farm is that it's an environment that has everything in it for things to grow, for things to flourish, basically. And that's the way I look at it. And that's why I decided to create the farm, because it wasn't planned to create this whole community. It was out of the blue. After the responses that I saw on my first video, I received a lot of interactions from early stage agency owners. I was receiving messages from kids, 15-year-old kids from Germany, talking to we have this client, you have this, you have that, and asking questions. And it was fascinating for me. It's the first time that I sort of experienced that exposure, basically. So I decided, why not? Let me create an environment for all of these people to network together. And I decided to go all in. I created the farm. I think I started this whole thing, by the way, the YouTube thing, I started 2 weeks ago, this whole thing. Now we have over 200 members. And every day, I wake up to 3-4 new members requests, and it's going good. It's going good. It's a matter of, I think, people, when they are sold on a vision, massive things can be achieved. And I have a lot of new plans. I'm just creating it honestly to share knowledge, to pass on the things that I learned, in the hopes of creating better sales people, better businessmen that do business with honor, that respect their clients, provide value for their clients. Because the way, if I really reflect on my journey so far, all of my friends here in Dubai are my clients.
Oh, crazy.
If I, for a fact, if I'm stuck anywhere at 3 a.m. and I have a problem, I will pick up the phone and call any of my clients, and they will come sort me out. And that's because you do business with honor. That's because they don't perceive you as a business, like a service provider that's providing them a service and that's it. It's because you're doing business with honor, because you genuinely care, because you genuinely provide them with the best insights, and you have their best interest in heart. And that's how you do business properly. That's how you become a true businessman, a true entrepreneur. And that's what I want to share with people. I want to give them my perspective. I want to sort of put the vision that I have and the way I'm building things online for everyone to watch. And if I can inspire one person to achieve massive success, I will be fulfilled. I achieved my mission. So that's what the farm is.
Nice. And I know you have a course section where you teach people about agency building. Kind of talk to us about what can a person expect to learn, and what's the content on that? Because I know you also have the farm premium, I believe. So what's kind of that going into that as well?
So the farm, there is a free group. Anyone can watch, anyone can join, and you will learn a lot. First of all, you will be networking with many other agency owners in the if you are early stage, relatively in the same level as you, hustling, trying to learn, having that adrenaline push that I want to get my shit together, basically. I want to scale this thing up. And everyone has the same sort of vibe, and that helps a lot. You join it. We do monthly, bi-weekly, sometimes monthly Q&A calls, answer every question. Everything is recorded, documented. You find it in the classroom. The farm premium came again out of the blue as well. I decided to create a 1 hour, I decided to create a roadmap of everything I went through from 0 to 20K and to now doing over 100K per month. And I decided to document everything in a step-by-step roadmap. and create a training over it and share it with people. And it was like a 1 hour something training, breaking down every single step of actually growing an agency. And I shared it with people, and then the response was really crazy. And I decided, you know what? If people found value in this, what if I just allocate some time to go step by step in each, or in details of every step of that roadmap? Because people, I still gave them the roadmap, but this only gives them the bigger vision. It doesn't answer like the nitty-gritty details, basically.
Yeah.
So that Farm Premium idea came through because I decided that, look, if I'm going to put a lot of time into this, I need serious people. And not only, it's not a course. I don't like the word course. It's not a course. I'm not creating a course for agency owners. And I don't think you need a course. I think what I'm trying to teach people is not a secret strategy on how to grow an agency and make 100K per month. That's not what I'm teaching. What I'm trying to pass on to these kids is, here's a system on how you can build your thought process and debunk problems, whatever they are. Whether they are sales, marketing, operation, acquisition, finance, this, that, whatever it is. Let me teach you the mental frameworks. Let me teach you the thought process. Let me teach you how to think and how to have perspectives. Because as I said, one advantage that I had is that, if you want to look at it as an advantage, but I failed a lot. It was always easier for me to learn what not to do. So when I'm solving a problem, I look at it from a million perspectives, because I was in the same situation for something else months back, and I did it these many times, and all of them failed. That one time or that one solution succeeded. So I look at it from many different perspectives, and I want to share that with people. Is that you forget about the secret script, forget about test. That's the beauty of capitalism. Is that it's all in the hands of the market. You have a product, you have an ad copy, you have a sales script, you have an outreach strategy, you have an ad, like an ad strategy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the market thinks. So you need to put it out there, and you need to let the market decide whether it fits or no. Now, here's where I come in. If the market says no, I will teach you how to think of ways on how to make it 10 times better. And if the market says no, it doesn't fit, I will teach you ways on how to look at it and fix it to make it work. So this is what I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to teach people how to think.
Yeah.
And how to actually be businessmen, because that's what a businessman is. It's you just wake up and solve fucking problems, man. That's what a businessman is.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to teach people. And if you want to learn all of this, I mean, I'm not running a charity. You need to be serious. And I'm not even charging like thousands of dollars for this. It's like literally $97 or $79 a month, and you get like crazy stuff. You get live sessions. So I'm not even pre-recording presentation and uploading it for people to watch. It's live. So I share ideas, and you push me with your ideas. I push you back, and it's an interactive session. So I'm doing it completely different to whatever exists in the market right now. And it's all in the hopes of helping people learn how to think, learn how to solve problems.
Have you ever been able to see that impact on people through the farm? Have you ever been able to see the results of it as of now? Because I know it's, I believe it's fairly recent compared to other communities.
It's a new look. Whenever it's really brand new. However, every single interaction that I do with people, I receive good feedback, whether it's through the comment section, whether it's through people started testing the things that I do, and they will record like a Loom video and upload it to the community for other people to see their results and then maybe try it on their own. And every single interaction that I received from people inside the community was positive. Now, did they make money with it or not? I'm not really sure. I still like everything is fairly new that I don't even have a proper system to quantify the ROI people are getting from the farm yet. It's
Yeah.
still a very immature sort of environment. It's a very immature environment, or like a system still. And I think that's a good thing, because if you want to get in, you want to get in on something early when it's immature and when it's fairly new. That's where you make the biggest money. That's where you take the most advantage of something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it.
Nice, nice. Okay, so we've learned about kind of your business journey, your school community. Kind of let's take it a bit more general. So talk to me about the day in the life of yourself. I know you live in Dubai. How does that look like for people outside of Dubai? Because we always hear a lot, but we never know, unless you're there, you never really know how it is.
Dubai is a fascinating city, and I think it's an immature success. This is how I look at it, Dubai. The whole city is relatively new. It's like the whole country is like 75 years old, or 72, 73 years old. So it's a very immature economy. And when things are immature, they are fun, because it's a lot of moving variables. Everyone is excited. Everyone here is trying to prove something. And that's the environment that I wanted and decided to be in for this stage of my life. Will I be here forever? No one knows. But for the current time being, the question is, where else? London, absolutely. I love London. I love London with all my heart, but it's a shithole. I mean, like you cannot live there. It's
Yeah,
unlivable. So for me, the way I look at it is that this is the right place to be. Conservative society, modern society. You can do there is everything for everyone. That's the good thing about Dubai. You can easily fit in.
yeah.
So that's, I mean, that's the right thing, and it's full of success. If you go out, there will always be someone doing better than you.
Nice. And
And if
it pushes you. It pushes you, to be honest. When you're in an environment of entrepreneurs, you're always constantly being pushed. But here, you don't really see what you want to envision.
only if you are positively competitive. There are a lot of people, they will see all of that success and they will feel overwhelmed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they will look at it from a negative perspective. Why they will start comparing, and why I don't have that, and why, and it plays around with their mind. But if you are
Yeah,
positive, competitive, there is no way, bro, you cannot succeed. You cannot make money in this city.
yeah. And you see your competition in the flesh. You see how they work and how they're able to do the success they do.
Now here, if I would say one inconvenience about Dubai, not even Dubai as a city, but as the marketplace of Dubai, it will be the competition, the low standards.
Yeah,
Because here, eventually it's an immature economy. Everyone is trying to move fast. Everyone trying to take a grab, basically, or take a piece of the pie. Because the way they built it here, it's somehow built on FOMO. You're always in fear of missing out on something, whether it's a new development, whether it's a new property, whether it's a new project, whether it's a new bar, it's a new club, it's a new this, it's a new that. You're always living in FOMO here somehow. And I think that's the reason to why people are not focusing on the bigger picture here. And as you can easily, whatever your industry, you can easily, if you know what you're doing, you can easily come and find massive success here. Why? Because your competition is playing the game with really low standards. You want to succeed in Dubai, from my own experience, I just came in here and I had a proven system, and that's all I did. That's all I really did have. I didn't understand the country, I didn't understand the market, I didn't understand the etiquettes of doing business here. But what I needed to do, what made me really successful fast here, is that I observed a lot what's going on in the market. I saw what everyone is doing, and I did the complete opposite. And a great book that reshaped my mindset and my perspective on this is The Blue Ocean Strategy. Go read it. I don't have the time to summarize it for you right now, but go read it. It will change. It will change your life. And you just need to observe what the market is doing and do the complete opposite. Differentiate yourself, and that's how why companies are willing to pay us 3x the average market price for our services, even though they know that relatively they can go next door and get it for like way cheaper. But it's because of the high standards, because of how it's marketed. Because I observed the market and I saw how everyone is selling, and I decided I'm going to sell it in a different way.
Yeah.
If you are working in any industry, I want you to understand that there is no such a thing as business saturation. No niche is saturated. What is saturated is offers. People are just tired of hearing the same offers over and over and over again. From any service provider, any niche, any market, doesn't matter what you're selling. If you are finding it hard to acquire market share, it's because of your offers. A good book on this, again, another book recommendation, is 100 Million Offers.
Yeah.
Great book. Alex Hormozi, top G of offers, online business, and entrepreneurship overall. Great book. It will teach you how to build offers. So that's about it about Dubai.
Yeah. So it kind of goes into my next question, because you mentioned books a lot, and I think the most pinnacle thing in anything you really do is being a specialist in it, and having that knowledge gap, as you said, having that knowledge to be able. So what are kind of common habits that you like to uphold to kind of maintain business and maintain in general life?
This is a good question. Look, for me, I have strict rules. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I just drink water, and that's it. I believe that it's all in the mind. If you control your mind, if your mind is on check, your life will be on check. So I don't do anything that plays with my mind. No alcohol, no coffee, no tea, nothing. And I minimize my moving variables. That's how I live my life. My life is very minimalistic. I live here. It's a Sunday. I can be at a beach club, but I don't, because I don't like to be distracted. I minimize. And that's the crazy thing here about Dubai, is that they created, because they knew that you can make loads of money here. But what's the point of you making loads of money and taking it outside the country? So they created every single environment possible to distract you to spend your money. There is a say that goes like, money made in Dubai, money spent in Dubai. That's very true. They created it just like that. They give it to you with one hand and they take it with the other. And you need to be smart. That's the game. They allow, it's a fair capitalistic marketplace. You play the game, you just need to finesse the system. And for you to do that, you need to be absolutely disciplined. Now, that's easy for me. I was raised in a military household. Discipline, we took that since a young age. But the way I look at it is that you really need to have as minimum moving variables in your life as possible. Create your routine and stick to it. For me, it's very simple. No mind games, no alcohol, no tea, no caffeine, no nothing. Running, I run a lot. I play golf and I play tennis. That's it. I swim a lot. I go to the beach a lot. But that's it. And I travel a lot. I love to go around. I travel like probably every 3 months. I travel for like 2 weeks, a month, and I go to the mountains. It's like in nature here. And wherever I lived after I graduated high school, I always had a sea view. So the sea view is very important. I need to see the water. It truly calms me down a lot, because my life is very stressful, and the water calms me down. So even now I live in it's an island. Even in Dubai, I live in an island called the Creek Island, and my balcony now, I see the sea. I see the water. So so that's it. Create your routine, minimize your moving variables, make sure that there is nothing messing around with your mind, and just stay focused. Look, a lot of people always, I don't know what's wrong with people, but they always try to look for that secret thing, that secret strategy, that secret, peak performance coaching program or this or that. Life is simple. Make it simple. Stick to what you do, put your head down and work. Be disciplined. If you're looking, if someone comes to me and say, what's your secret for this? I just know that they are not disciplined. If you're looking for a secret, it means that you're looking for a shortcut. And that's the pure manifestation of indiscipline. And you cannot really go so far in life if you're not disciplined.
Yeah. And I think it kind of, you kind of answered my question already, but it was for someone watching this video, a viewer, is kind of the things you said resonated with him and he wants to start. What would your next advice be? Because you value so much on the mentality aspect, you put so much emphasis on changing the environment, controlling your mind. What would your next advice be for them to take away to an actionable step?
Listen, actionable steps, very easy. You need to go solve big problems. If you are starting an agency, let's minimize the moving variables in this question. All right. So if you are going to start something, let's say you're starting an agency. First question, what am I going to do and to whom? To whom should be answered first. If you are going to go after a certain market, first of all, don't be general, go niche. Why go niche? Because you're minimizing, you're moving variables again. If you are focused on one niche, you're solving one problem to one market, and it's copy-paste system over and over again. You learn, your learning curve will be shorter. Pick a niche. How to pick a niche? Very simple, doesn't matter. Businesses will always need more customers. If there is only one advice I will give you is focus on niches or markets where their customers are willing to pay your customers, like your clients, a lot for their services and products. So by extension, you will be able to charge your clients a lot. Focus on a niche again, that their customers that you will help them with your marketing acquire are willing to pay them a lot of money for their products and services. And by extension, they will see the ROI in your services, and that you will be able to charge them a lot. That's the only. Now you can go after solar, you can go after citizenship by investment companies, you can go after plastic surgery, you can go after real estate, anything.
Nice. So I guess that's the actionable steps for the viewers. I think words can only get you so far if you're not willing to actually take the next step. And
it's crazy. You know, the thing about human beings is that I do a lot of sales coaching here for my agents' clients, for my clients' agents.
Yeah.
Their offices or online, whatever. I coach someone how to actually close social media leads and sell them properties. And even though the biggest complaint always is like, it's the same battle between sales and marketing. Sales blame marketing for the leads, and leads blame, and marketing blame sales for the unreliability. And then they always somehow tend to end the meeting agreeing with everything I said. But I always tell them, look, here's the reality. Let's not bullshit each other. I know that 90% of you will leave this door and they will throw everything I said for the last hour in the garbage. And it's fine. I am fine with that, even though it wasted my time. But it's fine, because I know that's the nature of human beings. They love to be in their comfort zone. They don't want to go the extra mile. They want the easy bread. That's your mind. And I cannot do everything for you, anything for you, if you don't control your mind. You need to be disciplined to actually put in the work. But there will be 10% of you who will go actually out and stick to my KPIs and stick to my script strategy and stick to my tonality strategies and stick to everything that I taught you. And they will find massive success. And hopefully you will inspire from them later on. And same thing in the agency space. You can get everything on a silver plate. But if you're undisciplined, no one can do anything for you. God will never hand it to you on a silver plate. He will always show you the vision. So if you have a vision of, I want to do something, I want to build a business, whatever. That's a vision inside of you that's eating your mind. There is a reason why it's there. God planted that seed and planted that vision inside of you for a reason.
Yeah, definitely.
Allah does not require of any soul more than it can afford.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah.
Because because you really need to, but He will never give you the process. What's the point then? Allah يقول لك you أسعى عليك السعي وعلي الرزق. That's in
Yeah,
Arabic. But for the viewers, you need to put in the work and I will give it to you. Even if I will quote also the Bible in Proverbs, commit your work to the Lord and He will establish your paths. You need to put in the work first, and then the Lord will give you whatever you believe in, whether it's Jesus, Allah, whatever you believe in. That's not the point of discussion, but you need to put in the work. The success is in a direct proportion to your work and work ethic and your discipline. Anything else is throw it outside the window. Doesn't matter.
yeah, definitely. I think Allah it doesn't make you rich. He gives you the opportunity to be rich, and then from that you can build yourself. Because you can blow the richness away in a day. You can give someone $1 million, and the next day he won't have that. But give them the mindset of a millionaire, and they're set for life. So yeah, I think that's yeah,
You need to feel like $1 million to make $1 million.
exactly. And if you was not feeling like that from before, you can easily blow it away. It has no value to it.
100%.
Definitely. So I think that's a good a wrapping point. Obviously, I appreciate you showing the viewers and sharing that value, especially coming from your experience and expertise. But yeah, appreciate you having the time to hop on the call.
100%. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.